because I'm less like, I think for me I'm less
Oh,
like, oh, a '90s looking comic again like is less exciting to me, and I'm a little bit more interested in
yeah,
kind of
I
creating
like the. That's why
fresh
I hang
things.
out who I hang out with. It's more like indie underground, like dope stuff. Like
Yeah, it feels.
Bar and Plagal and all them. They produce some unique styles, and I love it.
Yeah. No, it feels
Pre-Kings,
like that could
ladies
have
and
been
gentlemen.
like that could have been the flyer for Gorilla Biscuits, right? Um,
Mm.
and it could have been, and I like that. You know what I'm saying, Matt?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, dude, Minor Threat, like it could have been this kind of
Yeah.
cool, straight edgy something. I acted in a movie when I was a teenager called SLC Punk.
Oh, really? You were in that?
Yeah, I'm in that movie. If you
I
can
like that
imagine,
movie. I like
I'm
that
Russ
movie.
the Mod. I give Devin Sawa the drugs that ultimately,
Oh,
send him.
Isn't there a
you kill
sci-fi?
Heroin
Wait,
Bob?
isn't there a
Oh, wow.
sci-fi movie that you're into? Like, I swear to God that me and Dan
What?
Plagle watched a movie that you were in.
There isn't. I've produced and a lot of movies, and I've
No,
directed
I'm pretty
a handful.
positive this is you acting in it. Like,
No, I think
No, no.
you acted in that.
because Dan is such a Hollywood buff that like he pointed out, he's like, dude, I think this is Adam Lawson right there, and I was just like, wait, what? And I'm trying to like rack like what
What movie
the
is that? I mean, I was in this one that no one should ever see called The Pet. It was kind of this like
Ooh, let's Google it.
sort of erotic
Google
sort of
it.
thrillers. I was the first AD. Because when I first got to Los Angeles, I was a first assistant director, which is the person who runs the set. And so a lot of times you're doing a smaller movie, and there's a small part, maybe a crew member is also an actor jumps in. So I jumped in on this movie called The Pet. And like we kidnap this naked girl, and it's
No, I want to see it.
not something that you would like put on your resume, but it did happen.
I mean, depends on like where you're trying to. I mean, if you're trying to get work in the San Fernando Valley, maybe it's something that you do
Yeah.
put on your resume.
Working a little blue.
Hmm.
I mean, for most of my time in Los Angeles, I did just live down the street from Vivid because I lived in Studio City.
Oh, shit.
So that
Mm.
is here, but
That's cool.
it's but SLC Punk. So if anybody's seen that movie, I think it's one of the ultimate punk movies, and I feel like absolute. Like if you could
Lucky.
do a punk comic, with that style.
So lucky. Dude, my first movie that I ever got to work on was a movie called Children of the Living Dead. It
No
is
way.
a fucking nightmare, dude. It was just what I was like, yeah, I was like drawing all this stuff, drawing all these zombies. I was seeing like photos of like the makeup getting done because I was working with the guy, and then I saw the movie and was like, what the fuck is this?
Did Karen Wolf? Did she write it?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't remember who wrote it. It's so long ago, but oh my god, dude. So I used to tell him like, yeah, man, I worked on a movie called Children of the Living Dead, and then like I just kind of like let it drop off my resume.
Hmm.
You know
So
what
you
I mean?
announce it on YouTube?
Yeah, well, fuck it now. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
shit.
I
We're
get
north
it.
of the
So,
wall
nefarious,
now.
but
We're north of the wall now. We're fucking watching Nefarious
yeah,
fucking daily
Yeah.
basis. You know what I
exactly.
mean? We're in
yeah.
the forever war.
One of the early movies I did was this movie called Think Tank in Los Angeles. It was my first film. I met the producers. They just finished Napoleon Dynamite. I met them at dinner in Salt Lake City on my way to Los Angeles, and then they were doing this movie called Think Tank. And it was this comedy that you probably never saw because it was, but it was the same producers who did Napoleon did this as like a follow-up movie, but it was before it even sold Napoleon, before it was ever even a hit. But we thought it was so funny, but it didn't really work itself out in the distribution land, even though there was a lot of cool people. But that was the beginnings of my LA movies, was Think Tank.
Nice.
But
It's got to be a lot easier now, right? I mean, well, they're like twofold. It's got to be easier to get your stuff out there. Like with indie comic books, I'm sure with indie movies, it's like it's easier to like get your stuff out there and to like get people to see it because of streaming and other means and like production wise, you have like shit at home that you could work with. But on the other hand, a whole bunch of other people like have easier access to it now. So there's just like a flood of like mediocre shit. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of like wade
Yeah,
through it. You know, where
yeah,
you're like, oh, this is stupid and this is dumb, and then you're like, oh no, this is a cool movie, and it's like, oh, it's like fucking Looper. You know what I mean? Where it's like three guys fucking wrote it and like filmed it, and it's, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
yeah. No, I agree with you. I think that like getting a film, because what's happened is 2008 the home video market collapsed, right? So independent films lost about half their value, and it's never resurfaced. And so, and because of the YouTubes and TikToks of the world, film just slowly keeps losing value, and television just keeps losing value as people watch more and more YouTube and nonfiction content on TikTok. It just continues to kind of lose value, right?
Yeah.
So to get a film out there that has, even though it's easy to get exposure to it, it doesn't actually help because you need it to be distributed correctly for it to have any chance at a zeitgeist, right? Like, oh, I'll just drop this movie on YouTube and it'll take off. The chances are so remote that it's
yeah. I mean, like you see all the time, like completely amazing work by visual effects artists or like small indie production companies that'll do like a Mortal Kombat a short film or something like that, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" We'll get like 5 million views, but that doesn't turn into necessarily work.
Yeah, it gets beat by
what
two
they've
chicks
done is
dancing.
they've done a short film based on one of the most popular IPs in the world.
Yeah.
So that's not a reflection of, hi, you made you go ahead and make your own short film and drop it on YouTube and see how many views you get. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, did you see, I mean, I don't know if I could bring it up, but that recent turtle footage? Leonardo like fighting some Foot
Turtles
Clan.
going to the water.
Yep.
But it's like Leonardo is swinging a sword. There's like a fire behind him, so it's kind of silhouetting him. Dude,
I thought we were talking about Galapagos, like little babies, like going to the
Yes,
water.
that's what we're talking about, Billy.
Yes.
Well, when someone says, "Hey, did you see the footage of the turtles?" I'm just like, "Oh yeah,
I'm
You need
sorry.
to revoke your nerd card, Billy.
Yeah. Having lettuce. The videos of the turtles having lettuce, right, Billy?
Yeah.
Munching on lettuce.
No.
On little pond.
No, I
I
mean,
hear
well,
turtles. I think Teenage Mutant.
they get confused by the
Ninjas.
car lights, and they head towards the traffic instead of heading towards the beach.
Yeah,
They
to the
should be,
beach.
like, heading, yeah.
And then gets eaten by seagulls. You know that happens.
Or old Asian men with chopsticks.
No, those go for
They
the
eat
eggs.
them.
Those go for the eggs.
I saw that Leonardo thing. I thought it was okay.
You thought it was okay? What's up?
Well, it was mediocre at best. Oh no, I can do
I
that.
mean,
Will, how you doing over there, Will?
it's just,
I
dude,
didn't
I've
see your
moved
Johnny-
beyond guys in
Johnny
rubber
Depp.
suits, dude. The range of movement that they have is lame.
Hey, respect the
What?
rubber, man.
Dude, I'm just saying, I'm like watching this.
He
and, like,
feels
what
like a
Adam
guy
was
in a
saying-
rubber suit. He's like not nimble at all. He
What
feels
Adam
so
was saying,
stiff.
like, it's like Adam was saying, like, yeah, like, I don't know who this guy was, and if he just like did his own shit, like, I may not see it, but like, he
Yeah.
does this fucking Ninja Turtle footage. It's just test footage.
Yeah.
I see it, and I'm going, dude, how much are you? And like, can you do Rock and Roll Ninjas? Like, can you just put a fucking guitar in this fucking dude's hand? So, I mean, well, I guess we'll turn off the air. But yeah, dude, that's just CG. But it's almost like first movie.
That's a dude in a rubber suit.
That's not a dude in a rubber suit.
It's CG. Yeah.
It
That's
feels like
CGI,
a
baby.
dude. It feels
I
like
know.
a dude in a
Yeah.
rubber suit. The way he
Move my mouse
moves,
over
I'm
to
like,
the
But that's kind of cool, though. It makes me feel like this is a continuation of the very first movie.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I guess. I mean,
I bet. I mean,
It's-
Billy's not
it's-
impressed, obviously.
well,
Yeah, that's fine.
dude, when you've had 3 to 4 decades worth of Hong Kong cinema and like martial arts choreography just going off the charts, like shit, like Donnie Yen
Look
just
at
doing
Ross
triple
disappointed
backflips
now.
and kicking dudes in the face with like double heels and shit. Like, and it's a real dude. Like, I get like that turtle was moving too slow.
Billy,
man.
why don't you move
I'm
to
telling you,
Hong Kong
I agree.
already?
After
Yeah.
Donnie Yen, everything else is a
Yeah.
step down.
It's a step down.
Yes.
Yeah, just move to Hong Kong, Billy.
Yeah. I need my turtles trained by the fucking Jackie Chan
by
team,
Donnie
dude.
Yen
Like,
and
they
Jet
gotta-
Li and
No.
How's it going, Rob? How you doing, sir?
I am doing pretty good. Sorry, I was a little late. I think that turtle tryout, test. I think they made it like grounded on purpose because so many people are so sick of all the CGI that if you made it like video game crazy with all the cameras moving everywhere and Leonardo is just jumping and flipping.
I mean, once you see that CQC fucking knife fight with fucking Captain America and the Winter Soldier, you can't go back, bro. You gotta have like, you gotta like,
that knife fight in the Winter Soldier I think is the best in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
My stunt coordinator, Chris Carnell, coordinated that scene. One of the best guys. Unfortunately, he passed recently in a motorcycle accident, but his son is now my coordinator. But we've talked about that scene 100 times, and it's like that level of
exactly. I want to see Leonardo do that kind of shit.
What else do we have? Chris
not
Evans
looking like he just like took cues from Boba Fett and shit.
No, I know. And also with Chris Evans and Frank Grillo, two true athletes. It's like pretty amazing. Yeah.
I like that going back a little bit to the thing, to the old school, to the more grounded. You know what I mean? Like, give me a fucking like a Ford Mustang, like an old. Don't give me a fucking.
Let's go
Lamborghini.
back to
I don't know.
One-armed swordsman.
And what about pacing of a movie? That could be how we set up the beginning, and then the movie just slowly climbs and just gets more and more nutty, more crazy.
And editing.
Really
That's true. That's true. He's doing some more grounded level shit so that near the end of the movie, when they're doing like crazy down the tunnel fucking flips and shit, it's
off
like
the roofs and stuff.
Yeah. Then you're like, holy fuck.
Oh,
yeah. Otherwise, so you don't exhaust the audience.
That's a lot of imagining for this director from that one take.
Yes.
There's so much potential. That's what's so amazing. You're like looking at that, you're going, wow. It's good.
It's
probably.
I mean, it's like, yeah, sure. It's good computer rendering in turtles within a style that looks decent. I'll give it that.
You really hate it.
Sorry, it's not fucking Cowboy Bebop.
It's not up to your standards, Billy.
Not much can be.
Wow.
No, not much can be.
I'm sorry, it's not One Piece, Billy.
Have you guys been seeing
I'm just saying, from a technical perspective, it looks like a cool rendering engine with like some cool turtle models.
I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but as an animator, I can tell you, like it was a stylistic decision.
Yeah.
The way he did
it's like I've seen cooler stuff on like PS5 like cinematics.
Oh
yeah, of course. Dude, throw a 270 team at one guy.
I mean, like God of War Ragnarok or something like that.
Has
a cooler cinematics thing like that.
I'll see a video game sequence off of YouTube, and the first thing I think of is, oh fuck me, why am I even drawing comics? Like that was so amazing and so big and so dynamic, and the characters are so interesting. I'll be like, I can't compete. I can't.
Oh
yeah,
you
that.
can.
That stuff is crazy.
Yeah, you can. Look at your
there
shit.
You go.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna shut up for a little while. I'm going off the charts here.
No,
please,
Billy.
Please.
Hail the chat, by the way.
Hail the chat.
Yeah.
Hail Will Perdomo.
Yeah, Perdomo's maintaining the chat for us while he's here on the panel.
I know he's crushing it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Multitask.
Dude, and Ruby Jade.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you got those comic books. I mean, you got those video games, but it's so much easier to just put out a comic book rather than let me spend 4 years and $10 million on a
budget's
comic book,
better
right?
too. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to turtles, I like your other idea, Matt. It's like do it all CG, but make it look black and white, so it's like Sin City and shit, and like dark fucking old school turtles. Like, I mean, none of this half step shit. It's like, the old movie stuff was the gateway into it being cheesy. Let's like not even do that step. Let's go back to like where it was like comics and they were like actually badass.
Look at this. This looks badass.
I would love to do a comic book that takes 4 years and I get a budget of
$10 million.
$10 million.
10 million 4 years and $10 million. Yeah, I can do that too.
I'm live streaming from some wonderful island. Rob, have you drawn?
Well,
I'm like, wait, what?
Who's
asking those questions?
I mean, like, if somebody was like, "Hey, man, $10 million for your thing,"
In
like if
4
it was
years?
some sort of like fucking Brewster's Million, where they were like, "You got to spend $10 billion in a month." I mean, I could, dude. It would be like
getting that.
It would just be like the dopest shit, right? But then I would be like, "Yeah, it's AR." You know, like as you flip the page, you look at it with your AR goggles or your phone, and like the fucking characters are jumping off the page and shit.
I don't know.
I don't know.
4
I would figure out
years,
a way to spend $10 million.
4 years and $10 million. Like, Pedro, you're drawing it? Are you kidding me? I own slaves. $10 million in Latin America?
No, dude. $10 million, dude. I would go to Dale Keown instantly.
Yeah,
and just be like,
exactly.
yo, 10 grand per page. I need 40 pages.
And then do nothing. Say it for 4 years.
I did wait 2 years, but boy,
Greg Capullo. I'll call up Greg Capullo.
There you go.
Oh, I love Greg Capullo.
I love Greg
Capullo.
Capullo.
Yeah.
He's the
Greg's
shit,
done some amazing work. He's a super cool dude. Yeah. Have you guys all been seeing what's been happening in Mark Millar's world? I don't know if any of you guys follow, if you've done Nemesis or any of his books.
Love Nemesis.
Nemesis Reloaded, out of this world, but his new book, Big Game, that ties all of his series together. And he just dropped today on Twitter. He's like, listen, one of my franchises ends Wednesday. Because like the Big Game is like the killing off of all of his franchises.
What?
Yes. And so he's like, every issue, like a franchise gets killed in this comic, Big Game, that like ties it all together.
That's cool.
It's pretty wild, and it's hats off to Millar.
So all the Miller stuff is all in one universe.
This new book, Big Game, puts it all together.
Okay.
And Nemesis is kind of like hunting down his universe, if you will, without spoiling anything.
I love his stuff, man, and
I love his stuff. Yeah,
but sometimes I like watch the movies. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
well, I said some of them have missed. Don't get me wrong, but
Wanted, the comic book Wanted is just fucking dope. Like Wanted feels like it should be like an HBO series. You know what I mean?
Wanted is so
with
amazing.
all the alien shit and all the transdimensional shit going on. But then, like, you watch the movie and it's like, I'm not even saying that it's a cool movie. Like, there's like Angelina Jolie's tits. There's bullets and stuff. You know what I mean? You're like, this is cool, but like, why don't you just call this a different name? And it would be.
They pitched it. They pitched it when they only had like half of the first issue done.
It's only Van Helsing.
That's why. Yeah, that's why it doesn't resemble the miniseries.
Van Helsing too, dude. Don't get me started. Don't push.
Van Helsing? Oh no.
Van Helsing is goddamn trash, dude. Jeez. Really? So they only had the first issue.
Yeah. But anyways, it's pretty dope. But let's get out of the way of that and let Rob talk about
it, Rob. Let's hear what you got to say, buddy.
Because these inks are incredible, Rob. These inks are incredible.
Thank you.
Your work is so fucking technical. It's just insane, man.
Well, I wanted to, since I was making the jump from inking to penciling and inking, I wanted to figure out how I could take longer and make the process more painful. So I'm like, well, why don't I add gray marker to it? That'll really like kick the shit out of me. So that was the idea right from the beginning. And part of it is like, how am I supposed to compete with all the guys that have been like penciling for 10, 15, 20 years? How am I supposed to jump into Comicsgate and show off all this stuff? You know, I'm brand new. They're going to just think, oh, look, it's some a-hole from Marvel and DC who needs a book or needs work. So I really wanted to throw like everything, like the friggin' kitchen sink into it and just go completely nuts.
Raw
pages.
Well, I mean, this is indie comics, man. You can go as balls to the wall as you want, right?
Holy shit! What else?
I didn't know Luke was in
I did just back it, Rob. I did just back it.
Is that you, Odin? Is that you?
Jesus.
Odin, is that my $10 million for a 4-year project?
Yeah. You deep Bowie's MFer?
Look at this. Fuck, dude, this is ill. So you're throwing the kitchen sink at this. What's the basic story?
The basic story is we've got a Marsoc Marine in this team They are steroid enhanced, so they can fight longer and take more pain. And they pretty much get massacred by overwhelming superior forces. The only survivor is Death Raider. And because of the circumstances, he gets a little bit of alien tech blown into his brain from an explosion. So he loses his legs. He kind of has some alien knowledge, but it's kind of a how you get alien knowledge of technology, and how you can't just make someone just immediately smart. Bruce Banner gets the Hulk, but he can't control the Hulk, all that kind of stuff. So he doesn't have. It's not like all of a sudden he wakes up and he's Reed Richards. He gets blinding headaches and gets images in his head and kind of pieces things together from there. He builds out the Death Raider armor to get revenge for his fallen comrades, and because while he was getting patched up, everybody saw that he was extra special in the hospital. He kind of, and I've in the updates I've shown off those pages. He kind of does like a alien energy EMP pulse. So if he doesn't stay ahead of everybody chasing him, he will wind up as a lab rat. So that's pretty much the push of the story. And
nobody wants to be a lab rat.
No. It never works out for the lab rat.
No. Nah, it usually sucks for them. Short lifespan too.
The big plot is it's an alien infiltration, and the aliens have been on Earth for hundreds of years. So he's really fighting overwhelming odds. I like that the Bruce Willis
very
type
cinematic
of story. Yeah, dude. Thank you. Well, I've noticed later in the pages, I do make some faster cuts because I always was afraid with my storytelling that I would, because I'd always think of things in kind of an animation style and then have to pick which sequences are the most important. I think most of us think of it that way. And sometimes I think I do it too, like I'm slowing down stuff too much where I'm putting in too many of the points. So we'll see with this issue. I think
depends on the story beat you're going for, man. That's the beauty of our medium. You can pick it up, you can slow it down as you need to. Depending on
you have to
explain. Very interesting when you're working with a writer. Like I hear what you're saying. Like I'm some of you. I'm like, okay, every couple of seconds, I need to see something. You know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of like beep bop boop, and then Chuck was sending stuff, and it was like, yeah, here's a montage. Here's a 8-page. Here's a 8-panel montage. And you're like.
Montage.
Dude, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Like a montage, but then it's like reading. Like now that I've like gone over I'm like, dude, that totally reads as like, it's a total. Am I right, Billy? Where it's like this reads like a fucking montage, dude. Like there's like guitar riffs playing.
Yes,
in my head when
you are correct, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, oh, we're
that
gonna
is
start
correct.
Training, and then the guitar starts, and they're like painting, and they're painting and shit.
It's a little bit sad that Will's got that.
Is there music tied into rock and roll ninja? Matt, are there little like QR codes, and you can like get this soundtrack in your head?
Yeah.
No, there's not. But I definitely want to like create a soundtrack.
My buddy did Ninja Funk, that comic Ninja Funk. He's a DJ, and he layered in songs with QR codes. So it's like he's like,
so dope.
So like, he's like, hey, before this fight, zap this QR code. For this fight sequence. Play the song and then read the pages. It's pretty fun.
But I have
to make sure everything that it was like subliminal.
Matt, I have a suggestion.
Into rock and roll ninja. Hold on, I had to everything because I said was like, yeah, I'm gonna draw these two guys checking their fucking oil in the background. Like having their hands in each other's pants, like fingering each other's butts. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have them fucking checking their oil in the background. And I got it. He was like, dude, don't fucking draw that. And don't draw anything that would be actionable. Now I got to go through the whole book and make sure you don't fucking... I was like, no. I'm like, I'm joking. Richard, chill, bro.
I'm kidding. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm kidding. He's like, don't fucking draw. I'm like, So from that point on, I was like, yo, here's everything. You know, I'm drawing. Here's a like high res. So I'm not adding anything. But yeah, no, I have no RL codes or RQG.
But dude, if you're doing the QR codes, it shouldn't be a real guitar. It should be you doing it with your voice, like
super low tech.
Yeah,
he's humming away.
I mean, it's like what you'll see the band and you'll be like, oh yeah. So like the lead singer is like a Freddie Mercury. We've got like the band is I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. It's
magical.
I think soundtracks are essential for each project because when we think about them when we're making them, you hear music in your head. I don't know about you guys, but I see scenes to some of my favorite songs that are from my book. I want to make as music videos that I then will turn into scenes. I mean, that's how my brain works.
It's like Motorhead, but with Freddie Mercury.
I fucking do, Adam. I really do, man.
Nobody does it what Luke does. Though you should read Sumerian's new book, Heavy Metal Drummer.
That's what I've been hearing.
Dude,
yes, great book.
It's incredible. I just plowed through it. It's freaking dope, and is all you. Yeah, no, it's a rad book. You should check it out. But I will
find that. I'll go pest to the comic shop tomorrow.
He's coming on my channel. That guy.
Right His pages are freaking beautiful, Rob. They really are.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kicking ass on these pages, man. You got a black and white edition of this book, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. There's 3 different printed versions of the book, and there's a PDF which has just the artwork. Where it's not color and there's no letter.
So, I love the inking on this, man. I love all the.
But is there a black and white version with the lettering?
Yeah, there's a printed version. Yes.
Okay.
Right on.
Yes.
Yeah, I backed it, but I realized I don't think I kind of thought I was getting black and white because I just see black and white pages. Mm-hmm. But is the book in color, Rob, or is it a black and white book?
It's full color. So the first 2 books, like literally, it's the cover that everybody's seen, and I've showed that has the collection of all the different sequences. It's like cover A, B, and C is called the Midnight, and Midnight is the printed black and white with lettering.
Nice.
And the other 2, A and B.
That's the wrong one. So the Death Ray Midnight.
Yeah, if you keep scrolling.
Death Ray also.
It has no artwork on the cover.
With black and white scans with lettering to distinguish Midnight. The cover will be a darkened tile with no cover art. Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah. I actually was originally thinking like Death Blow. You know that Death Blow cover?
Oh yeah.
The one with it was kind of reddish. I mean, there's actually artwork there, but
those were really cool. I actually really enjoyed the style that Jim Lee was playing around with, and there was like a mix of his style and Frank Miller, like those heavy, chunky shadows.
Isn't it wild? All those Image guys, as soon as that Frank Miller stuff came out, they all did that.
Yeah, they all played around with it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Jim did. Liefeld did. Did Eric Larson?
Something greater effect.
Image that he did was really dope. When he was, it seemed like when Jim Lee was first doing that kind of Death Blow fucking like stuff. It was really dope. But then, like I don't know, like the 3rd issue, he started kind of.
He was already bored of it.
Yeah.
I don't think he drew much in that book either. I think he had assistants drawing from too.
Tim Sale took over. I think in issue
that might have been why he got bored.
Yeah,
because he wasn't actually drawing the book.
Yeah,
art sales. You probably looked at.
Why did you give this woman a vector? Do you think that she can't handle an actual M4 or?
I just wanted to give her a cool looking because she's our super spy for the book. So I gave her the vector, and from what I hear, you got to be very talented to run a vector because they're pieces of shit. So.
Yeah. That's what I heard too. I was like, yo, I want a vector. I was like, yo, man. I was like, I don't give a fuck how much it costs, dude. I want a vector. And then the guy was like, nah, you don't, buddy. Yeah, you don't work.
Well, let me tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah. It really isn't much of a good idea, friend. I was like, oh.
They even they ran those in the Total Recall sequel. or not sequel, but the remake.
The remake.
And they said that the crew, that cast, the gun guys, had so much trouble keeping those vectors running full auto. You know, obviously those are running full auto with 22 blanks.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, these things suck. These look cool for a futuristic movie.
Too many moving parts, dude. Once you look inside, it's like, yeah.
Well,
the simpler
anytime
the
you try to
machine, the
innovate,
longer it will run.
It looks good though. They do look fucking cool.
Yeah.
They look sexy.
But I think, Rob, that's kind of the core of this book. When I look at kind of every page, I think the question you asked yourself was, "Is it cool?" Right? Like,
yeah.
Cool.
And the answer is yes.
Cool. Is it cool? Does she look great? Is he badass? Like, it has, like, there's definitely like a fun fantasy feeling about this book. It's just this is gonna be fun.
There's a lot.
I appreciate you saying that and noticing that, because that's I'm a child of I was a teenager in the 90s. So Liefeld, Jim Lee, Dale Keown, Tom McFarlane. I mean, that was the epitome of cool first, you know, and then some of the books had story, some of the books didn't have story. And story is the most important part.
Yeah,
but the art better be cool, man.
Yeah,
I don't
know. Well, I think McFarlane said it best. He said, I can tell you the worst story in the world with great art, but I can't do it the other way around.
Yeah.
Nope.
And so it's a catch-22. And I think that, you know, Sean Gordon Murphy, who's a writer artist and has been on both sides, right? And he's like, listen, if you don't have the great story, no one comes around for issue 2. But if you don't have the great art, no one reads issue 1. So then who cares what issue 2 is? And so I think, you know, they really need to be hand in hand to make it to make something that lasts, right? Like Meta Baron's Jim and his art is like blows your mind, but there's also a story there that's gonna last. Same thing with Berserk, right? Like you land both, you know. And you know, just to throw some small bars out there for you, you know, just to throw some light comparison. But you know,
it's
gear work, dude, is phenomenal, man.
It's like when you look at Return of the Dark Knight. That's one of my favorite books. At first, you're like, "What the hell is Frank Miller doing?" But that artwork fits the story so well that it makes the story makes the art, and the art makes the story.
That is right. I feel that way about Sin City too. It's like those words with other art doesn't work, right?
Well, he brings a grittiness to his art style that fits that storyline.
And it's he doesn't give a fuck. Like literally, here he's going to draw this page, and then he's going to give you a bunch of, you know, you have to read, and if you don't read it, then you didn't buy it. You know, it's to be in a position where you can experiment and just go for it. You know, we don't get that very often. So that's one of the great things about being here at Comicsgate and crowdfunding is hopefully I'm experimenting in a direction that everybody really likes and that we all can kind of hit that. But at the same time, you know, that shit better sell. So we better experiment in a fun, sexy, cool way. Otherwise, you know, there's not too many people here that can experiment and go, oh, well, that flopped. That's too bad. Let me, you know, they don't have, no one worries about the utility bills and stuff. So that is a driving force that I think comic books kind of need, you know. I'm a huge fan of Alex Ross, but Alex Ross is that guy where you're like, are you shitting me? This Batman painted graphic novel, Bruce Wayne, it's a double page spread of him in a limo, in the back of a limo. What are you doing, Alex?
That's what you decided to use a 2-page spread on? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Like that's someone who's made his money. He's not going. He needs to sell this artwork and he needs to impress everybody. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. Either you like it or you don't. Yeah. And I'm just like
resting on laurels.
Let me go back to your Kingdom Come. That's what I did when I flipped through the Batman one. I go, let me go back to Kingdom Come and just flip through Kingdom Come. You know, dude, look at both those guys. They always argue and try to take credit who wrote that book, who did more of the story. Both of them fight over credit. Mark Waid and Alex, they both fight over for the credit of that because it was so good. And it also says that's a pinnacle for both of them. You know?
Yeah. Well, but I think that I think that I just think they're inseparably connected, and like the fight, when you think about making a legacy book, I think they're inseparably connected. But I think that I agree with you, like especially in this world of crowdfunding, you don't have the words, you really have the pictures. And fortunately, Rob, you got some damn good pictures here.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. What was your legacy looking like there, Rob? Like, what did you work on prior to going indie and like in the mainstream that maybe like the people out there like watching today might know you for working on?
My legacy really was DC Comics and inking. That was where inking on Batman and Justice League and Red Lantern. It's so many people because of I inked Ed Bennis, so many people come to me and say,
"That's right,
dude, I loved your Ed Bennis Red Lantern," and I always go, "Yeah, that book could have been great." Like that was a writer who was told to not do anything for 8 issues or 12 issues and just run in place and introduce characters. So, but beautiful artwork. But yeah, that's where people know me from. I spent 2008 to maybe 2017 at DC, and it was awesome as every project was cooler and bigger. And then all of a sudden at one point you just go, the last project was pretty cool. This one's okay. And then, it was like it's a transition down the hill going, oh, okay. Well, this will pay the bills. Hello? This will kind of pay the bills, or this is the first thing an editor's offered me in a month and a half. I'll say yes to it no matter what it is.
No, there's no escaping that, right, Rob? I mean, it's something in any freelance world, at some point you got to pay the Pied Piper. You know what I mean? And like, as much as you like want to hold out for the perfect story. Like I produce commercials all the time, I'm a TV showrunner, but I produce commercials because sometimes your show gets canceled after 4 seasons and you're figuring things out for, a while, or CW gets bought and they throw away your show before you get a shoot. And, it's that kind of thing. So it's just a ride. But like you then have to make beer commercials in the interim, right? Like, cause you gotta pay.
Rob, I don't know what you're talking about, Adam. All I do is commercials.
I'll definitely say of the other inkers that have kind of joined us in this space that were pro inkers, like Art T. Bear and Richard Friended. You're joining that club where you guys are like straight swinging for like the fucking parking lot and shit with the amount of detail that you guys are putting into this shit. It's just like, wait, you guys didn't pencil before? You just inked and now you guys are like off the chain, and it's just like, let's just fucking throw it all in there. Pretty rad stuff, man.
Maxie,
thank you.
Do my new Kill Journal book that's out. That's what he does too. He just throws, I don't know if you do like to say, Rob, but he just throws down red lines, and they're loose red lines, right? Like he does some rough layouts that are kind of crummy, and then and then the next thing is just some like loose red line work that is not, you could never show to somebody and say that's a story.
But he understands it.
And then he goes
exactly.
And it's kind of like that's kind of like how Daniel Warren Johnson's working, or James Herron. I'm sure these are guys, what I'm talking about. But it's like the finished product, I think, is such an organic looking thing. I don't know if is that how you're working too. You're kind of like redlining and then throwing in inks, or how do you?
I actually figure out the perspective and the volume of the drawing on the computer, and so I print off very light structure on the paper, and then I go in with a marker and I do the gray tones and all and you can even see in some of the pages. Sometimes I've gone a little too dark on the marker, but the idea is that I almost like doing an underpainting. I'm doing all the gray marker stuff, and then I do the inking to solidify everything and add all the detail and really give it that comic book art.
And what are you inking on, that same piece of paper, or are you?
It's all on the same. Yeah, it's all on the same board.
Wow.
So you're just printing it out on Bristol board, 11 by 17.
I print out those very light pencils, and then the marker, and then the inks, and then the whiteout. And it's there's occasionally, depending on the humidity of my house, I'll be like, Oh no, nib today. It's all brushwork.
Yeah.
Because the pages have been worked on so much by the time I get to the whiteout.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a process. I have to jump from page to page to page to page to page because I literally will get just worn out from working on the same page. Like, especially you can see some of those pages where I really try to be a retard with the textures, trying to give them like a pseudo realistic approach. Like, dude, I spent so long on the dumbest stuff on Anna's pages. The introduction of Anna and the shower behind her. Like, why did I spend so long on shower glass? You know, I mean, that was retarded. That was retarded to do that.
Because you were in the zone that day and you would not be swayed.
It was. I had 2 different books on doing realistic marker tone in front of me, and I had YouTube DIY videos in front of me. I literally had my Cintiq, and I was using it as a drawing table, and I just had the page in front of me, and I'm watching the guy how he's doing it, and I just be like, it ended up being just trying to, could I do it more than this page should be done. So, but you know.
I have now realized I have spent entirely too long on this page, and I should probably move forward. Shit.
But it's a beautiful page. It's a beautiful page. Nobody mad at it.
It's an awesome page. You know, it's not a monthly book. It's not a floppy.
Right.
You know, this is a graphic novel. You know,
it's true.
It's like I can never
do this monthly.
Everything needs to be like, you know, taken care of. You know, it's like a novel. You know, you would rewrite stuff and edit it and clean it up. So like,
it's true.
Yeah, dude. Everything. Why wouldn't you have everything fucking exactly how you want it?
Yeah, even the way I did the story, I started working on the key sequences and left the transition between sequence to sequence. I left those open so that literally, if I wanted, for instance, I just finished up all the marker on the soldier scenes where they end up getting blown up at the end. I left all that stuff really open so I could go, oh wait, man, I'm having so much fun. I like how things are moving along with the fight scenes back and forth as they're shooting at each other. I expanded that. That's like now 12-page sequence of just action and story and stuff. If I was working on a monthly book, I could have never done that. It would have been like, oh, this is 4 pages out of 20 pages, and that would be it. They'd be like, no, you can't go back and expand this. You have to be done in next week or whatever. And I've done that with a whole book where I, expand some sequences and pull pages out of other sequences. And yeah, I could never do that in comic books. Well, that's a little not true. When I worked on Justice League, they would pull pages from a previous issue that Mark and I had finished and put them in the next month's issue because the story was so bad. They'd be like, dude, this story is so boring. We're going to have to, hey, that really cool splash page? You've got Green Arrow and Green Lantern in the alleyway talking to Flash. We're going to make that the first page of the next issue because we realize that next issue the plot is so slow.
What?
They move different motivation, man.
I thought they moved pages. They moved pages around, like multiple pages in multiple books, trying to and cutting pages. Going, hey Rob, have you started page 20, 16 yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't, because Mark was a month ahead of me. They're like, okay, great, because we're pulling Starfire, so Starfire can't be in that issue.
Oh, jeez.
So like you're like, what are you guys doing? This is just a comic book, man, and all these plots should be like confirmed 6 months out. No?
I thought that's what I thought. As a kid, I thought they had, hey, we're going to the X-Men fucking weekend where we're going to sit down and fucking hash out what everything happens in the next 12 months of X-Men. And I thought like every department did that. Like
that's when there was money in the business.
The Batman, we're gonna do like a fucking Batman weekend where we get all the writers in who are doing Batman.
I always thought they were like 3 months ahead of time.
Yeah, like they were planning the year out.
At least a year. Yeah, I always thought they were like a year ahead of like, okay, so you have him for this weekend, I'll have him for that week. You know what I mean? There was like,
yeah,
where's Batman?
We're planning custody. It sounds like.
Well, didn't DC?
Like, I mean, it sounded awesome, and you were like, "Oh man, that would be so cool." One day, I'll get invited to one of those if you're good enough. You know what I mean? Like if you're high enough in the echelon, you'll
womp.
Not everybody works like that. I mean, some people do plan out their projects like way in advance and have them worked out ahead. Like Adam Lawson, who
I'm going to be interviewing in 15 minutes over on my channel for New Book Who Dis.
Nice. I mean, fuck yeah, dude. You get your shit laid out. It's
yeah, but I think you make a good point about the money factor, right? Is because once there's not enough resources to have everybody be paid to sit around and think about things, then it just all becomes seat of the pants.
Well, Greg Capullo recently said that that Batman Spawn issue that came out, he originally was supposed to have 2 months to draw it, but they spent so long going back and forth deciding on what Spawn could do and what Batman could do and all that stuff that he had to hurry that issue up. He had like 4 weeks to do instead of 2 months.
Yeah, that sounds fucked up. That sounds like that's the fucking other people's missing their deadlines. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Hey guys, we need 3 story ideas by fucking Tuesday. It's fucking Friday, so make sure it happens. Okay, Tuesday. Okay, fuck you. Only 2 of you guys put in story. You know what I mean? There has to be a certain level of like, get the fuck out of the way. We got to meet a certain deadline because the most important aspect of it is Greg Capullo.
Please, I would love to hear you say that to Todd and whoever the fuck was dicking around with DC.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I agree with you, Matt, 100%. But
any Saudi prince out there who's fucking buying
did you know what?
Marvel, contact me. I don't give a fuck what you do to reporters in basements. I don't care.
Dude, that 4 week
in DC, I'll run that shit.
But that 4 week like days to get the comic book done when he had 2 months, like that makes me get Mel Gibson even more.
Yeah. Why you fucking with Greg? Like, why are you fucking with Capullo? You know what I mean?
But yeah, but the thing about it is, right, is because he's beneath Todd McFarlane in the pecking order, and so how it works. It happens in commercials and film and TV all the time. Like lots of times, it will take you longer to close the deal to make the series than to make the TV series. That's very common. It's very common.
Well, I hear about DC
comics or micromanaged from the top down. So
you know what's the worst?
You literally can turn in a script and then you wait 3 weeks for them to say, "Here's our notes on the script," and then the writer has to turn those around over the weekend, just so that it can sit on an editor's desk for another 2 weeks before those rewrites get approved. And then it finally goes to the penciler, and the penciler is getting the script a month late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I hear about the resorts.
All bunch of shit. You know, I've heard of like gigs, so somebody will be like, "Hey man, do you want to do this gig?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and like it'll be like 3-4 months of like radio silence, right? And you're like, I don't know, maybe I got that gig. And then hey man. So that gig, you ready to get started? I need all that shit by fucking tomorrow morning. You ready? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
fuck. What?
Fuck. Like, all right.
Dude, who are you?
Thank you for confirming nothing.
Dude, the worst to me is like when they say like we'll fix that in post.
Like, if I say no,
they
will fucking go to the next person on their little fucking.
Oh, of course.
And
their little legal pad. Their little legal pad of creatives. They'll be like, "Oh fuck, Matt Barr said."
And they'll never ask you again.
Exactly.
You're
next person. So you always say yes. You already like, yeah, no problem, and you start.
And then you figure it out.
Exactly, dude. But it's kind of fun, you know what I mean? Because you're like, I have a certain set of skills.
Yeah.
When they call me, I could do.
Just admit it. You thrive under pressure. That's what you're saying. You like
okay. I fucking under love pressure. It, dude. I love it. They're like, we needed paintings. We need them done in 24 hours. Dude, my pee-pee gets hard.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
it's not very big.
I got time.
It's not very big, but it gets hard.
We can tell from your tweets that you thrive under that stuff. I'm the guy that says, when I was inking, I need a page a day. And they're like, well, you have the weekend to do 5 pages. And I'm like, you're going to get that last page late Monday. And that would just be it. They're like, they look great, Rob. And then,
damn right they do.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, I wonder if he's going to call me again. Like, well, we wanted a Monday morning, but okay.
Well, you hear about these resorts that DC did for like I don't know how many years, like especially planning like death metal and the New 52 and all the things. Like,
I'm sorry. That
what comes out of
whole event
those
makes me laugh every time I fucking hear it.
Well, especially with Snyder. Snyder took over Batman, and he had that all laid out, like pretty well. So like what, like Rob, you can answer is like what happens in that process when you have something already all so laid out.
Well, hey guys, real quick, I gotta bounce. Rob, you're awesome. The book is cool.
Thank you very much.
See you, Adam.
Rookie buddy.
See you, Adam.
What's up, Adam?
I do as well.
Billy, Will, Pedro,
See you, buddy.
Jason,
There
Jay.
you go. Check out giftedrebels.com.
Yeah.
Bro, check it out.
Kill Journal too.
Baby.
Pick it up today.
The link.
I got it back.
The link, my friends.
I'll chat with you guys soon.
All right, later,
Take care, dude. Take
later,
care.
Luke.
I've never been a part of those meetings. Inkers are just asked, "Hey, do you want to do this?" It starts Monday. I would say that because that's towards the time when there's less money in the comics, that the people that were a part of that are Snyder, the writer, the editor, the group editor, maybe the editor in chief, and then the superstar penciler like Capullo, and they all come up with stuff together, and maybe they actually get together. But dude, I wouldn't be surprised if it was all Skype meetings and stuff. That's how low budget everything's become. And then from there,
everybody's all separated.
Involved.
Everybody's all split up.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I hear.
I have Skype meetings with like a couple of people from New York. There'll be somebody in Florida. Then there'll be somebody on set. You know what I mean? And it's, that's the new thing.
Yeah, and
it's a little bummer because I used to like going up to New York though. You know what I mean? I used to like, hey, can you come up for a couple of days so we could like run some stuff? Like, absolutely. You're gonna give me a hotel room for me? Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then like COVID happened, and then it was just like, hey, we'll Skype. And I was like,
for free.
All right.
Yep, free.
Like
Skyping, fine, I guess.
Yeah, so all the other artists just get, rough sketches from Capullo at that point that the writers also approved. And that's all it's become now is there's only a couple guys involved in the meetings or the conversations or the Skype or whatever. And then everybody else gets told, here's the designs. Here's the, because Death Metal had all the redesigns for all those characters. And you have to stay on spec with Capullo because of the toys. Because Capullo is going to want the design check for the toys. So, I heard Capullo had a contract where he designed all the Batman shit. So Brett Booth drew an issue of Batman that after the fact, they couldn't use.
What? Because it didn't go along with Capullo's design?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, that's a flex.
Yeah, that's a hard flex. But it's like, doesn't that make you just want to like do indie comic books? Doesn't that just make you want to do Death Raider even more? Where you're like, what? I don't want to really spend my kind of dude. Like I did some stuff. I won't say who, Stapleton. I was like redoing these storyboards because he was like poopy pants about wearing shades. So I'd have to redraw these storyboards with Stapleton wearing shades. And then he was like, I don't like people around me. So I had to like redraw panels with nobody around him. You know what I mean? Like, it was just because it was like, the first shot is like, hey, Chris Stapleton walks onto a rooftop and there's like a crowd of people around him and there's some lights. I'm like, all right. So I figured that out. I'm drawing that out. You know what I'm saying? Then it comes back. Yeah. Hey, he saw the storyboards. He doesn't want those people around him.
Because he never read the script, even though they asked him.
It's like, it was
so
just
he
like,
just looks at the artwork.
Yeah, and so then I like went back and like erased all of the people and put some railings and but you know what I'm saying? I made it work.
Yes.
I made it happen. But it was very odd, you know what I mean? To be like, what?
Yeah. Well, comic books have always been a pyramid scheme. Everybody worked super hard. Back in the 90s, it was you worked super hard to get out on Uncanny X-Men or Wolverine.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man or Justice League and Superman. Well, not Superman. Superman was trash back then. So it's always been a pyramid scheme. It still is now. Now there's no, the books all sell crap. but you want to be the next Capullo so you can sell pages, or you want to be the next Jim Lee so you can sell the artwork for a lot of money. So nothing's really changed. It's instead of royalty checks, it's art sales.
So why spend that money? You know what I mean? And that energy on their stuff. Like yes, I'm doing the Stapleton stuff, but I would really just like to draw my own comic book, or I would like to see you draw your own stuff rather than
Well,
wondering like what Greg Capullo is doing, and you need to like follow what he's drawing rather than just like working on your own fucking cool gears and fucking knickknack on your fucking ninjas.
I think you can do both the best work. You can do both. I think you literally like I could do Death Raider and be able to put all my creative energy and figure everything else out how I want to do it and have a blast doing it. And then I could have an editor call me and say, "Hey, we want you to do 6 issues of Wolverine in Tokyo," and be like, "Yeah, if I'm writing it, I'm going to do it just like Death Raider." And they're like, either they say yes or they say no, and I'm like, okay, then I'm doing Death Raider 3. I don't give a shit. Because you see Capullo's doing the same thing. He's not crowdfunding, but he's finishing up Creech right now. Creech 3 or whatever.
Yep. Creech.
Yeah.
So and then he's already
so huge. I don't even think he needs to crowdfund. You know what I mean?
No,
all the top people are like in line to blow him to fucking get his IP, right?
Well, his contract on Spawn was $1 million a year. So
that's
why he finally left Spawn, because Todd told him he couldn't keep paying him that much, and he goes, "Okay, I'll go to DC." Todd's like, "All right, cool." And look, Capullo's DC probably told him they can't pay him as much as his page rate was, so he said, "Okay, cool, I'll go do some X stuff," because now he's doing a bunch of Wolverine covers, while he finishes up his Creech book.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he just did a Hulk. I think he put it out today. That on Twitter today.
Oh, was it a new cover? I like him a lot more when he's got Danny Mankey inking him or someone else. His new covers, like, he keeps simplifying himself, dude. When he first inked himself on Creech, I'm pretty sure he had someone helping with those inks. But that first Creech miniseries that he inked himself was crazy detailed. And then when he went to DC, he simplified it because he wanted to do a monthly. Probably because they said DC probably told him, "This is how much we can pay you." And then he realized, then I'm going to have to do 2 pages a day. So he simplified his stuff and made it way more cartoony. And now with Marvel, I mean, dude, those covers, like,
God, I love his
those
shit.
Covers
though,
are
man.
really, he's an amazing artist.
There was like something going on like in the 90s when everybody was doing like, tough guy Silvestri kind of faces, like Jim Lee hardcore faces. Everybody was like fucking rough and tough. And then you had Capullo over in Spawn just doing these fucking Mad Magazine wonky faces and just like the most cartooniest. I loved it, dude. Like,
dude, McFarlane was inking those. I think McFarlane was changing the faces a little. Because remember that McFarlane was inking it. McFarlane was probably
there was some issues where you were like, oh, McFarlane, like it was like Capullo it was like saying that Capullo was inking Todd, but it was really Capullo was doing all the pencil work.
Yeah, like, and Todd was keeping it to spec.
Going in there. But there was like some issues where you're like, oh wow, Todd's anatomy's really gotten better. Like, oh wow, look at Todd's fucking storytelling. It's actually a little kind of cooler, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool, and you're like, oh, it's fucking Capullo.
Yeah, dude, Todd has said in interviews that Capullo was twice the artist that he is.
Oh yeah, he's better than me. He's better than me.
His Capullo and Court of Owls was and Death of the Family was amazing.
Dude, that's primo shit right there.
Yeah.
Court of Owls is hot stuff.
Oh. So going
but
into
also,
this,
what's the one where the fucking chick dies and she's in the afterlife? That's a really dope one. Miller wrote that and he drew it. And it's like if you died in the afterlife, was almost like a sci-fi Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Is that when
fucking killer?
Is that when Miller was doing the talent search at the same time as Capullo was drawing that book?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know why I I can't think of the name of the book, but it's like if you're a good person and you wake up, you kind of in this like Lord of the Rings sci-fi fucking Buck Rogers kind of like outfit, and then if you were a bad person, you wake up and you look like a fucking orc or a goblin.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
dude. So it's like Lord of the Rings
karma.
with lasers. Yeah, yeah. So all of your karma kind of affects like how you look on this scale of like elf beautiful to fucking goblin cave troll.
You look the way you are inside then.
Yeah.
Was it a miniseries?
Yeah, it was like 4 issues. You know what I mean? It was really good, and I can't remember. Reborn. Thank you. Hail to the chat.
That's a really good title.
Was that made into an anime?
I don't know, but like watching it, I'm going, oh fuck! Like, I was like, this would be really dope. But then I thought about it being a Miller thing, and like I'd be like, man, it'll fucking just like be called Reborn.
What's it called?
And it'll have some other shit. Reborn.
That's a great comic book title that can easily be a movie. Which
she like
Millar is
she's like an old lady. She fucking pieces out and dies and wakes up, and it's like her dad is there, you know, and he's like, you know, hey, I'm here to like kind of show you what's going on. But he's like he dies as an old man, but when she gets there, he's peak physical condition.
Of course, yeah.
But he's got like fucking armor and a battle axe, and he's like riding her old dog who has battle armor himself. Like looks like Battle Cat,
cool.
but it's a dog, so it's like all of your pets.
Yeah.
When they die, they show up. But it's like, so she's riding on her dog, dude, and he's like gigantic. It's so fucking cool,
dude,
man.
I would have an army of parakeets.
Yeah, awesome. If somebody was like, "Yeah, this," I see Arcane, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they should do it like Arcane and just make it a live action, not live action, but like CGI." And
that style of CGI.
It sounds like a Netflix miniseries, man. It sounds like it's
dude. What about your shit?
Episodes.
Would your shit be would it be a miniseries, or would it be just like a straight out movie?
I honestly, this probably goes against what a lot of people think. I would rather have it be a series on Netflix than a movie. I know a lot of people, like my old boss at Phenom Comics. I kept telling him, I'm like, hey man, this is perfect for Netflix, and he's like, I want it to be a movie, and I'm like, but it's like literally we did 8 issues, and these could be 8 episodes for Netflix.
Well, also with that, you could stretch it out. You could actually tell the story rather than just like a 2 or 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, you don't have to rush stuff.
That's not that weird.
Right.
Yeah. Not only do you have to not rush stuff, when I look back last year at my favorite movies that I watched, I had to include Stranger Things season 4. Because I thought that was such a cool story.
Yeah, 4 was good.
A fucking whammy of a season, dude.
Yeah, it was.
That was it. The last episode where it was like it would go to black, and then it would start back up again with like, and you're like, oh my god, he's about to kill that fucking demon with a Conan sword, and it goes to black, and you're like, oh my god, it went to black, and then it cuts back in, and he cuts it. Like, dude, there was some insane fucking editing.
Dude, and they brought
at the
back
end of Stranger
Metallica,
Things
man.
season 4. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Loved
Dude, what
it.
about Eddie? Like every so much shit that we see. We see these characters. They have the worst deaths. It's almost like the writers say, "Well, everybody dies ordinary." He dies in such a cool fucking way that you just like. He was such an annoying character for like the longest time, and he just like now he's like one of the coolest. Like that show did such a good job of giving everybody their high points. Here's your hero story. Here's your hero story.
Yeah.
And here's your Metallica song.
Yeah, man, I could totally see Death Raider being a mini series because that way you're able to spend most of the money on CGI. You get some people, maybe that guy who played Booth on a Bones show.
Honestly,
you know what I mean? You start getting like some CW people to help with the budget, dude. That shit would be dope as fuck.
Yeah. And you get time to tell the story properly.
Would you want it live action or would you want it CG?
Okay, from a money standpoint, I want it live action. But from a nerd standpoint, I want a CGI cartoon because
like Arcane.
See, I don't know. I've never watched it, but I want to see.
Arcane's good.
Oh, Arcane.
Straight up,
dude, Arcane is so fucking dope. Like I'm like watching it, and it's like, okay, every time you pause the show, it looks like a fucking keyframe. Like it all looks painted and illustrated. Like they were able to somehow like take paint strokes and all that shit and kind of incorporate it into the textures. So it
check out Arcane because you might want. You would want. I think. I could see Death Raider looking kind of like Arcane.
But Death Raider has a lot of gears and shit.
Yeah.
Death Raider has lots of gears and stuff. I don't know. I think you'd want.
They could do
harder.
it.
Yeah, but Matt,
I don't know.
The thing with Arcane.
Oh my god.
The thing with Arcane and the way it looks.
Final Fantasy.
They grab a node called subsurface scattering, and they put the painted texture on that level of the texture. What that does is that when the light hits the model, the light will react to the paint stroke, and that's why it looks like that.
So dope.
It's very clever, man. And the thing is, like this subsurface scattering has been around for like 12 years, but nobody thought of doing that. So that's the thing.
Subsurface scattering, is that like skeet?
Kind of, sort of
under the surface.
You have to
with the computers.
You have to work as hard.
Your baby batter.
Yeah, you have to work as hard to get the subsurface scattering.
Because with animation, I would love to be able to go like, hey, in the comic book, I didn't have these robots going through the back of a building and the building falling down. But I want to see it I want to see buildings falling down. Yeah. I want to see bullets flying. I want explosions everywhere. So that's why I would love to see it as a CGI.
Him cutting through
really
the people.
Cool. Looks really cool animated. The plasma blades.
And yes, and Pedro always. He's my new best friend because not once does he say claws. He says plasma blades. So there's no lawsuits.
I don't want you to get sued. I don't want you to get sued. You know I love you, baby.
They've always been plasma blades.
Plasma blades. Clearly, clearly they're plasma blades.
Yeah.
Dude, just real quick, just incorporate, what could have been a movie, what could have been a show, people fucking it up. Here's Blue Beetle. Probably could have been a TV show. Probably could have been a pretty decent TV show.
It did, I think, 20 million almost opening weekend.
25.
There you go.
Heard,
and
somebody was saying Mobius did better.
Dude, it's dead in the water, man. And I've heard nothing but bad reviews about it. It's not, and also I don't even want to see it to begin with, even with no reviews. I was like, I don't care about Blue Beetle. I'm like, I don't care. Dude, you give me a good movie, I don't care what genre it is.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just crap movie fatigue. And also Blue Beetle, I don't care about Blue Beetle. I just never did. Even collecting comics for 30 years. Never cared about Blue Beetle. Just wasn't.
Never cared about Blue Beetle.
That's me.
I think about this.
Fans don't care about him, then normies will care even less.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, the thing about this movie is like,
I could see like my aunt really or something be like, "Oh, the Blue Beetle, is he like friends with the Spider-Man? Are they together in the superheroes?"
They didn't get somebody at least with Iron Man. Like most normies were like, "Who the fuck is Iron Man?" They didn't know that, but they did know Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Yeah.
Right.
They had a fucking pull of him. They were
I like
he's okay.
Spider-Man.
Is he on drugs?
Maybe we'll see the Blue Beetle and they can do the heroing stuff together.
Yeah. Why are they always bugs?
Are they always bugs?
Tom Holland is just great. I think he's just adorable. Is he going to be in the Blue Beetle?
If you wanted Blue Beetle to people to actually watch it, then he should have showed up in Spider-Man. So at least they knew who the fuck he was.
I don't know who this blue bug guy is, but I like the spider bug guy better.
Blue bug. That's what she would call it. Blue bug.
Blue bug.
Blue bug guy.
I like the blue bug. Yeah.
The Beetle Man. Yeah.
But
he
also
was in the movies with the cute girl with the frizzy hair that's taller than he is. Right?
But this is also pointless anyway because Gunn's revamping the whole thing. So there's like, even if you're a fan of like the universe and everything going on, there's no point in seeing it. It's just a better movie.
Not only that, it's apparently offends a lot of the Hispanic community. when you're
it's-
trying to do
don't
diversity and you're offending a community. It's
Yeah,
just
they
like,
stereotype them like crazy. I hear in this.
I don't
yeah,
know.
like
As a
there's a
representative of the Latin community, I can say I'm not offended. I'm just not interested.
well, in the movie they have like the family are all in one house,
Yeah.
and none of them have a job apparently, and they just
That's accurate.
yeah,
And all they do is eat tacos.
That's
That-
accurate.
Yeah,
that's,
like-
accurate too.
that's more Rastafarian. Like, hey, man.
They got 4 jobs, man. I got 5
Okay, so
jobs.
you hit 2 points. They all live in one house. That's accurate. They don't have jobs. That's accurate too. What else?
Man, but I saw in the trailer they got that Ted Kord's fucking original Blue Beetle vehicle. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Where the fuck that thing come from? I
They
thought this shit
stole
was
it.
alien.
It's all over the
Janice
map.
is-
Janice has made Loopy. Her
Yeah.
family all lives in one house together, but they eat at a really good taqueria, I think.
Taqueria.
Before.
Yeah. And they have a lemon tree in the backyard, and they grow their own.
All
They
right.
use
It's
fruits
dog
with
shit.
when they cook
Yeah.
their meats. Did you know that?
Yeah, they put like lemon stuff.
I think you guys. I have a story idea where.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here we go. It's a
Oh,
guy on his 18th birthday.
Mhm.
He's bestowed with powers,
Uh-huh.
right? Like,
Okay. Is he a mutant?
He
he's
just
not a
randomly
mutant.
gets powers.
Let's just.
Or is he an
I
alien?
don't know. I don't know if he's like, son, we're alien, and you're part alien, and you have powers. I don't know if it's like that. I don't know like the X, Y, and Z
dude.
of like.
You don't know
why
the
he has
minutia.
powers.
Matt,
Yeah.
if they're alien, you have to give them the proper accent. So,
Dude, maybe
but
it's not alien. Maybe it's magical. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
Magical.
it's transdimensional, right?
Okay.
Oh,
So
he's-
what a
Maybe he has his
magical
bar
kid.
life.
mitzvah and he gets his powers.
Yes.
So he's 18. He's got powers.
He's 18. He's got powers. Instead of patiently using them and responsibly using them, he just goes fucking balls out. Starts doing
Yeah.
fucking cartwheels off the Mount Everest. Just starts fucking
Just
doing
robbing
all kinds of
banks.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
No, he's not robbing
Oh.
banks. He's a good kid, but he's like,
Oh,
hey, I'm bench
Wait a
pressing
minute.
the Eiffel Tower.
I'd be
or,
robbing
like,
banks.
Yeah, taking what you want doesn't make you a bad kid.
Yeah.
No,
Just
no,
means
but
you're
he'll
smart.
he'll take like the pyramid and like hide it and like start laughing and videotape people and then the next morning
Oh,
he'll,
so
like,
he's a
put the
jerk.
pyramid
Oh,
back.
He's a
okay.
He's kind of a dick.
I'd rather have him be a
Yeah,
thief.
yeah, yeah.
But go ahead.
He's
He's a
a
dick.
social media TikTok asshole, right?
Oh,
With these
he's
powers.
a millennial.
It's
He's a
like,
millennial.
I
He's a
took
current
all the
millennial.
stop signs of
He's a Gen
Milwaukee.
Zer, yeah.
Gen Z.
So he's a Logan Paul. You're saying he's a
You-
Logan
you-
Paul.
he's Logan Paul, right?
He's
So
Logan
then
Paul.
Oh
you
no,
go, like,
Logan Paul is superpowers.
you go like 8
Yeah.
years, and within 8 years, he's like started to spend his powers out. They're starting to like dwindle,
Mhm.
and
The
that
phase.
is when, the threat shows up, and the threat like shows up, and they're like, oh shit, here's the fucking crazy final fight, and the threat just like kind of takes him and eats him. And
Yeah.
then the whole planet just kind of goes dark, and that's the end of the story.
Oh, man.
Oh,
So he
so it's like
squandered-
a
he
70s
squandered his
movie.
gift.
Everybody dies.
Everyone dies because he's a
Yeah.
jerk. Nice. I like it.
Yeah,
Like-
well, because I saw this story, and this is how my fucking brain works, right? So I'm like watching, I'm seeing these stories, and this guy who's a garbage man in London wins a lotto, wins
Oh,
like
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
$20 million, whatever, and within 8 years just blows it all on fucking drugs and partying,
and booze
and hookers,
and hookers, yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
goes back to his fucking job
You know
as
what,
the
man?
fucking garbage man. And
Matt,
it's,
this
it's
sounds
like
like an
there's a
escalation.
photo.
Yeah.
There's a photo of him like, yo, I'm in a fucking jacuzzi with shit. There's fucking coke on my dick, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, here I am moving people's trash again.
Dude,
And so I was
they
just
don't
thinking
tell,
myself,
they don't
like,
tell you how easy it is to spend money so fast. They're like, dude, you can't get a $10,000 hooker. I'm like, yeah, but I can get 10 $1,000 hookers
Exactly.
really easy.
really easy. And now fuck too.
so
That
I
checks
was
out.
like, oh, how would
checks
that
out.
work as a story? You know,
Make sure
like
there's
this
an
guy-
albino in there. Send them
This
over
guy,
fucking a
this
chicken.
guy wins
albino
the
midget.
lottery,
Billy's gonna
all
want a
these
midget too.
powers,
Yeah.
And then the threat shows up to be like, I'm
That's right,
here.
Triton.
And then the guy's like, I don't have the power. He's like, excellent, and just fucking rips him in half and eats.
I like it.
Eats his
Here,
head.
Matt.
I like it.
You could add this to your story where he's losing his powers, but he has to take little blue pills to keep his powers up.
His powers up. Yeah.
But then he runs out of the blue pills.
Yeah, and he does. You know what? You should
And he
post
dies.
Scholastic, man. I see this like a teenage, like uplifting story.
It's a life
No.
lesson.
And do it in a very cartoon
No.
style.
It is. It's a value. It's a teaching.
Make it a
lesson.
cartoon.
Yeah, it's a teaching lesson. So get
Yeah,
in the library.
I think it could be like as thin as like maybe 20 pages and just put it in the anthology
that's
as
all
like
you
a
need, yeah.
beginning and end. You know, hey, I've got powers, and then I get fucking eaten, and then that's the end of the fucking.
Yeah.
You have to have a
my
character
gift,
that
and I got
constantly
eaten.
tells him, who constantly nags him, saying you should be using your powers more
like a
responsibly.
Jiminy Cricket character saying like, "Oh, you should not do."
An old granny. An old granny, you know, an old
a
babushka.
Velma.
No.
Velma.
And that character ends up being the evil enemy at the end.
Yeah.
He keeps telling him over and over again, be
Threat.
responsible with your powers, be responsible with your powers. And the moment he finally uses the last of his power, the bad guy shows himself and kills him.
Like I told you.
Eats him.
I told you.
Told you.
No.
Gets out a fork and a knife and just starts eating him.
Just rips his head off.
Yes,
I told you, you dumb shit.
because I just want to be like, holy fuck, he's got no powers, but he's still gonna fight the monster. Oh my god!
wait.
And the monster just,
Yeah.
like
No,
fucking-
he doesn't.
like a rancer
kill
and a
him.
fucking Gorgon guard. Just
He doesn't kill him. He chains him to his throne, and then he has to watch his family get killed.
Oh man! Wow,
Oh,
that's dark.
jeez, dude.
Jesus, Rob.
with his legs removed, so every once in a while the
Jesus.
guy just
That's
squeezes
brutal.
his body, like squeezes blood.
Now
So he's
we're
got a little
talking
cart.
Scholastic.
He's got a little wagon that he sits in while he's
Oh, my
chained to
God.
the
I have no legs.
God,
Yeah,
I have no legs.
like Eddie Murphy and like
Like Eddie Murphy in Trading Places. Yeah.
Trading Places. Yeah.
it would definitely do a lot better than Bleeble.
Bleeble. That's a better title, I think.
That's a
Yeah,
better title to the movie.
yeah. Bleeble.
You know what they should have done? They should have done fucking Beetle Bailey. That would have been.
Oh, dude, Beetle Bailey would be dope.
Yeah, dude.
I like Beetle
You know,
Bailey.
You know,
Wait a minute.
everybody involved in Blue Beetle are thinking right now,
We're fired.
I got a paycheck. They all are.
Yeah, they're all thinking I got a paycheck. Yeah.
Just
I
like
got a
in
paycheck.
comic books, every time
Yeah.
I worked on a shitty comic book, I'm like, well, I paid the rent this month.
I got
Yeah,
Right.
paid.
I think about
That's
that
all they're
too.
thinking.
There was somebody who was a fucking grip. There was somebody who was
A best boy.
a PA. There was
Mhm.
somebody working
Caterer.
Caterer.
Yeah, so it's like the
key grip.
storyboarder was probably like,
Mm-hmm.
this is fucking dumb,
Yeah,
And he's
but I'm
thinking
getting
more-
paid, baby.
you know. But it also sucks it when the book shits the bed or when the movie shits the bed. It's like, okay, well now what do? I gotta, I
Yeah,
gotta
well,
find
all
another
those
book
movie theaters,
story.
they got all that popcorn they're not going to sell.
Oh yeah, dude.
$15
That's
a
a
bucket.
tragedy. That's a real tragedy.
Well, we have a homeless problem in LA. We could just start serving these homeless people popcorn.
popcorn and soda and
Sticking them in the
ices
movie theaters.
and ice.
Hey.
in the
Get them off the streets and get them into the theaters.
theater.
Just
Yeah.
rip up those
Well-
expensive seats that they all just remodeled and put in cots.
Yeah, dude,
At
like-
At least the people
Well,
doing
you
set
get-
design and stuff might have construction degrees or something.
Yeah,
they
dude.
could fall back on something.
Yeah.
But some of these people have nothing to fall
Wait,
back on.
Wait,
the
what construction? What
what
sets?
construction?
It's all green.
Well, they got to move out east. Is what it is. Yeah.
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 They're always building crap in my area. I don't even. It's all
Yeah.
empty all the time.
Now I'm
It's
picturing like a homeless
guys
guy
with green
throwing
curtains.
fentanyl into an icy.
Yeah.
This is true. It's guys with green curtains. You're not wrong.
What was the
Yeah.
last Avenger movie? Maybe not Endgame, Infinity War, or whatever. But Tony Stark comes out of the building and runs down the street and looks around the corner, and there's the giant alien ship doing shit. And then they
Yeah,
show them
Avengers.
behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
and it's like he runs out of like kind of a fake part of a building into some green screen with some more fucking green screen, and there's like trees. You can see that he's like in Georgia. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah. Have you seen any of the
it's wild?
behind the scenes of the new Avatar movies, the making of them? I was so
Yes.
shocked and disappointed. Like it had James
They're in a
Cameron sitting there
garage.
being a superstar, and they're in a big warehouse. It's literally, I don't know what the two characters are supposed to be doing, but I think they're soldiers. They've got the dumb ball suits on.
Yes.
They don't even have cool plastic guns. They holding like PVC pipe in their hands, and it's the building that they're trying to sneak into. All it is it's a PVC pipe.
Yes.
Square, and then I guess they have to open a window, so there's a PVC pipe that
moves
pivots.
up, pivots.
Yeah, pivots out, and you're just like, oh my god, nothing is real. It's all fake. They couldn't even build a building. They couldn't even give them like plastic toy guns from the local toy store. Oh, it's so disappointing.
Ian McKellen, the guy who played Gandalf.
Yeah,
he like quit after the Hobbit movies and was like fucking crying. Little homo was fucking just like because he was just dealing with fucking green screens and like golf balls. He was like, "What the fuck?" I played Hamlet. I sucked a guy off who was Macbeth. Like fucking, this is not fucking acting, And
dude,
so he like fucking retired.
He's sitting in a green room pretending for 6 weeks straight.
He's like, what the fuck? He's like, what is it, the holodeck? Like, what the fuck is going on here? That's what it looks like.
Just build some sets. Make it look real. Give it some tangibility. Something they can work with.
There's like weird guys wearing green leotards around him. He's like,
look at Legend. Legend is awesome. It's all practical effects. It's all real. They can touch each other in like the demon, darkness, full on makeup. Like it's crazy and it looks amazing. And they didn't need 3D back then.
No, they didn't.
You could do it,
but they have Tim Curry. Yeah. That's a disadvantage, right?
This is true. They had the advantage of Tim Curry.
Star Wars shit. Yeah. I'm gonna take a big fucking shit on Star Wars. It's like everything that they're doing right now. It's very obvious that they're shooting it in that fucking round room of
the dome.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, we've got the dome technology. As soon as you showed me that shit, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. Because every time everybody starts walking around, everything is super flat on the fucking ground, and nothing is touchable within fucking 10 feet.
That's why everything's also in the desert too.
Yeah, we're like, they're on the desert. Oh, or they land on Mandalore. Oh,
the
where
desert
they land?
galaxy
on a fucking sheet of crystal glass or whatever the fuck. So it's just like, oh, of course it's flat. Oh, they go to fucking Coruscant. They're on flat land, and you can see everything within like 10 feet, and then it's just building. It was like,
it's just like
motherfuckers.
Video games promised us that backgrounds and buildings would be destructible, so that if you're playing Call of Duty, and you start shooting at somebody, stuff is going to break and fall apart, and then your next sequence, next scene, you're going to see, it's half a building, and they never did that, and now you're seeing that now that's what movies are. It's all the actors can't interact with anything because there's nothing there. Yeah, it's a friggin' PVC pipe. It's tape on the ground saying walk this way.
Yeah.
Go this way and then turn around.
What did you think of Avatar? Did you see it?
The new one, The Way of the Water?
Yeah.
I would have loved it a lot more if it wasn't about his family and it was just him kicking the shit out of more Marines.
More corporate.
Yeah. A little more we're fighting back while they're landing rather than, hey, we need to get the fuck out of here.
And 2.5 hours shorter.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, dude.
I hated when they attacked the train, when they're attacking the train and shit, that's kind of fucking cool. Like, I know these people. We're gonna do some Marine tactics and shit. Like that would have been cool rather than like we're gonna run to this other village and just kind of fucking blend in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because of the shit looks so good. The CGI was so cool. Mm-hmm. That giant hovercraft, whatever thing, that looked.
The hovercraft was dope. Yeah. When the woman put on that fucking suit and was kicking the fucking that was dope, dude. Yeah. Visually, fucking dope as fuck.
It was amazing,
dude. Yeah. And it's like I'm like, this story is dog shit, and the alien whale is like opens its mouth like, come on in my mouth, man. Let's finger fuck. You know what I mean? It was like, what? I don't know, like because it seemed like a lot of bullshit where
preachy. It got super
preachy, dude. The ship looked cool. Them just hunting fucking whales was fucked up enough. right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're just like,
like,
oh, come on, man. This
yeah,
is
they're like,
they
oh,
hunt him and then
these
they
things
fuck
are
him.
smart.
Yeah,
But then you have to go ahead and tell me that, like, I'm gonna just kill them so I could drill a hole in their fucking head so I can get this unobtainium juice.
Yeah.
These people fucking live forever. I was like, how the fuck do you know that? You know what
and
I mean?
then I'm gonna put my penis in the hole I
take
just drilled. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, so nobody's fucking that hole. Exactly,
Yeah,
Pedro.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
how come none of these scientists are skull fucking this whale alien? Right? Nobody.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
like Cameron's like, wait, we want you to hate humans.
Yeah.
But hold on, hold my beer. You're gonna hate them even more in the next 50 minutes. And then, you're just like, come on, dude, they're already the bad guys. So let's just fuck them up. We don't need constant preaching to go, no, they're human and you're human and you're not just a piece of shit. You're a gigantic piece of shit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like,
I don't need you to be draining them. I don't need you to be draining the fucking whales for this, like,
fluids.
immortality.
Whale fluids. Yeah.
Yeah, we already see what you're doing to the planet.
Sperm whale, yeah.
The
Just
whole
kill the whales. Hey, Earth is running out of resources. We're taking these whales, we're fucking chopping them the fuck up and canning them, and we're serving them to people on fucking Earth.
It's
like, that's it.
Starkist tuna in space.
Yeah,
that would have been fine. Yeah.
Can you imagine the story if you set it up that way and you had the aliens going, now, guess what? Go fuck yourself. We're gonna grind you into the ground, and that's the movie. With the city and those robots that could build shit. So literally you could have those robots fighting.
Yeah. We want that tuna. Like, I would have taken that. Like, we want that tuna. Fuck you and your whales.
I thought that was super interesting. Like, hey, Earth is kind of fucked. We're heading toward. Everybody's kind of heading towards here, which I was like, well, then everybody's gonna wear fucking scuba gear the whole time they're here, or what?
Yeah.
We
ate the last
they already had plans to terraform. Yeah, they're gonna terraform the whole planet.
Do you think that all of James Cameron's shit is all in the same universe? Like, do you think Aliens is in the same universe as Avatar?
Well, Aliens is not his, really.
I think you could probably smash that all into the same timeline though, if you wanted to, because they talk about Aliens and Predators. That timeline kind of can coexist.
Yeah,
they've been talking about that recently. All that James Cameron stuff could kind of coexist together.
Terminator and Predator and RoboCop and all of them, they are all in the same
RoboCop.
Oh my god. RoboCop. Wait, Murphy. Terminator and RoboCop are
there was a comic
universe.
They fought. Yeah, they RoboCop versus Terminator was a comic. Yeah,
but that's also in the same universe as Aliens.
Sure, yeah, because doesn't Predator fight Terminator, fights Xenomorph, fights Apollo Creed?
No, the Terminator and the Predator have never fought. Now, Apollo Creed and the Predator have, but no, the Terminator.
Pretty sure Action Jackson fights Blank Man.
Yeah, I can see Action Jackson having a go at the Predator.
I'd rather see Action Jackson fight Blank Man than the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
I really want.
Hey, Blank Man was dope, man.
Yeah, it probably made more money than
I'd rather see Handyman fight Blank Man than the Blue Beetle.
Well, we already saw Apollo
a double feature of a weigh-in fight.
Star Wars he's kind of sucks in Star Wars stuff. So.
It's true. It's true.
He's gotten old and heavy. Yeah. He's a little slow now.
Who are you talking about?
Apollo.
Carl Weathers.
Oh, yeah. Carl Weathers. Yeah, that's it.
I had the tiger, man. I had the tiger.
Wait, can we see a CGI Apollo Creed fight Terminator?
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
He already fought the Terminator, Ivan Drago.
Yeah. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, Terminator killed him.
Yeah.
Just really not impressed with this, dude. Just really not impressed with this. I don't know what the fuck that is.
He even when they show the sequence of him making the sword out of his arm, it looks like a piece of shit Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's what
they couldn't decide. Yeah. They couldn't decide between making a kids movie or making Iron Man.
Dude,
so old lady, they go right down the middle.
That old lady holding a gun. Can you go back to that picture? Remember when Rubik's Cube got really like crazy and they started like getting like different shapes? Doesn't that look like a Rubik's Cube gone wrong.
Yes.
Yes, it does look like it.
I feel like Christian Slater should be in this.
Yeah.
How dare you? Christian Slater's a national treasure.
And Emilio
dare
Estevez
you?
too.
He is
And
an
Emilio
American,
Estevez.
right, Jason?
He could
Yeah,
be
he's
the bad
American.
guy.
Okay, yes,
He could
he's
be-
a national treasure.
There
Oh,
should
can
be
you
a
imagine?
Christian Slater movie called Gleaming the Cube 2 where he
Yep.
fights alien Borg,
Yep.
like a big alien Borg cube,
Yep.
and grinds off it with his space suit.
I'd watch it.
Oh,
I'd watch
Yep.
it.
It's
Yeah.
magic.
There you go,
We
Billy.
find
Now
out
you're
the whole
thinking.
time his
Well,
skateboard
see,
was magic.
see what the thing
Magic
is
skateboards.
he's playing Tony Hawk. Is like it's circa 2003, and he's playing Tony Hawk Pro Skateboarder. And what he doesn't realize is that Tony Hawk Pro Skateboarder was actually made by aliens in order
as a
to
test.
recruit an
What?
elite group of people that can grind rails better than anybody in the
It
universe.
sounds like
Like,
that.
And the alien
Once he
races.
gets like the best top score, like the aliens come down and then recruit him to gleam the cube against like the huge Borg.
So
the
it's
aliens
Gleaming the
are-
Cube meets Last Starfighter.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can add-
I like that.
You always hear about them doing a remake, but the rights of it are always, tangled the fuck up,
Oh, is that because of the investors, or one company made it but another company distributed it, like Hulk? Because
Maybe.
Hulk is all tied up in this shit. Because
Yeah, with Universal and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Like I
yeah,
know
you can't-
there was a show on Fox when Fox first came out, WB, and it was called Werewolf.
Yeah.
I love
It was called what?
chicken. There was a show called Werewolf. And
Really?
it was basically like the Incredible Hulk kind of thing, where this guy was going from town to town, and he's looking for the originator of his werewolf bloodline. Right? He's looking for this guy called Scorsese, right? Or something like that.
Corvinus? Wasn't it Corvinus?
It was something. It was like, I'm looking for Scorsese. It was like this guy with an eye
Was it
patch.
Coppola?
No, you fucks, right? So he's going from town to town looking
It's my
for
favorite
this
pasta.
fucking,
What about Corvino? Wasn't it
for this
Corvino?
older werewolf. If he kills the older werewolf, his werewolf stops. His lycanthropy stops. So every week he would end up in a different town, like helping like a single mom deal with a bully, or
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? But
we know how this story goes.
Yeah.
The single
But
mom.
instead of like,
It sounds like a porn script.
instead of pushing her face down into the couch, he would like turn into a wolf and like,
and then do it.
Down, and then puts her face into the couch.
push your
Yeah,
face
yeah.
down into the couch. Right? So, so
Wait a minute. Is this a
werewolf
movie you want to make? I think this is a
Yeah.
TV show Matt Barr wants to make.
I
It's a
see
real-
that on the
real show.
director's chair right now.
And they will not more action.
More action.
Get up.
Have
Put
your
the
way
werewolf
with
on the
her.
werewolf costume.
Do it.
Move it up, yeah. Get that werewolf.
More blood. More lube.
Use the blood for lube. There you go. So, they can't release it because some of the songs in the background, like they couldn't get the licensing for or something. You know what I mean? So it's like when they filmed it, like some fuckhead like sandwiched the layers. So like the sound and the audio within like the master tracks are combined. They can't separate it.
These are not separated.
You can't separate. Yeah, so it's like, hey man, could you alter that text? You're like, sorry, dude, I flattened the layer, man. I can't fucking alter that text. That's basically like sounds like what happened. They're like, yeah, man, that audio is
Permanent.
Yeah, that's permanent. It's infused.
Billy Joel, Uptown Girl, he doesn't like his song in a fucking werewolf show, and we can't fucking release it on DVD. I mean, it's like that. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck.
Does
So
that mean
now-
they couldn't go into the recording studio and like fix dialogue?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking
Yeah.
there's a big enough market for the werewolf show for somebody to be like, paging Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman. You know what I mean? Like, they're totally like,
That was actually pretty good, but it was pretty good.
yeah.
Well,
that was the same thing with heavy metal.
For you, Mr. Herman.
Wait, they could just redo all of the dialogue.
They could.
They could,
Yeah.
they could, and then just do the brand new soundtrack. But this is a movie. This is a TV show from Fox in what, 86 or something. So it's kind of a piece of shit.
Early 90s.
Early 90s. So
Dude, the werewolf,
it's not worth
dude,
it.
there was no budgets. There was no money spent on location. It seemed like maybe it was the same place every month, every week. No money spent on the acting, but the werewolf costume, dude, was
amazing.
Oh my god, dude! For a teenager, yeah, I was like, this is so fucking cool. Because like the guy had a pentagram on his hand that would start bleeding right before he started turning. So he's like,
cool.
he would always be looking at his hand, and you're like, oh shit! Like a whole bunch of like guys from like Roadhouse are like fucking with him. And he's like, I'm telling you, leave me alone. And he looks at his hand.
Sounds like Matt has his next project.
So dude, there's like me when I get hairy.
There's too many werewolf stories in CG.
There's a lot of CG.
I do have a werewolf story. Everybody has a werewolf story, right?
CG is dog friendly.
You've got a werewolf story, right, Rob?
I do. It's called Death Wolf because I am super original. I'm going to just use DEPH on everything.
I've got a story about a guy who runs really fast. It's called Death Speed.
Death Speed.
Death Speed. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have a very Latino werewolf story called Perro. And
Quicksilver Death. Okay.
Wait, no, Death has to be in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah, Death's in the beginning.
Yeah, it's
Death.
Death Silver
of the universe.
Death Silver. There you go.
See, Death Speed. I like Death Speed.
Yeah,
Death Speed.
Death Speed's good. Death Turbo.
Death Turbo.
Mm-hmm. Death Flash.
Death.
It just has to be all one word. Death Flash.
Death Flash.
Yeah. I had a flash when I was dying.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one called Death Ninja. Oh shit.
Death.
Death Ninja.
I did see on your campaign there's some ninja sword action, right? Some of your
all those robots. Yeah, those original robots. Well, it's because I loved the Uncanny X-Men 268 where Captain America was fighting ninjas, and I love Wolverine fighting ninjas. Nice. So they're robot ninjas.
Can't go wrong with
robot ninjas is just.
That's how you're able to like
Silver Samurai.
You're able to like get through like the Captain America beheading of ninjas and like the
it's their workaround. Yeah,
I'm the best at what I am at what I do, bub. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why they changed the foot to ninja to robots in the cartoon. That way they can kill them and not worry about the blood.
Them.
Yeah. It makes me think of Samurai Jack, where he's just fucking cutting the fuck up.
Dude, Samurai Jack.
All robots.
Awesome. Samurai Jack's dope.
I love Samurai Jack.
Oh my god, he's cutting these guys up, but it's like squirting green shit out.
Yeah.
Well, look at Transformers. They're punching each other's eyes out, and that's not violence.
Yeah,
right.
Like pulling their spines out, and
they have no feelings.
Yeah.
They don't.
Even though we see that they have feelings, they care.
Yeah.
That's just zeros and ones. Come on.
People are crying when Optimus Prime dies, but it's okay.
It's programming.
I cried with the original movie.
Yes.
The animated movie. I cried there, but when he died in the Michael Bay movies, I feel nothing, sir.
I had no idea what the fuck is going on with the Michael Bay. They don't look like Transformers. They look like, I mean, they're giant robots, but
it's just,
I don't know.
I'm going soon.
They've
got like weird faces. Yeah. The amount of detail to their faces, I can only assume that they've got genitalia as well.
Scrotum.
Fucking labias and shit. Which one do you prefer?
How
about a dick? Okay.
Foreskin or no foreskin?
Foreskin,
please.
My turn. Find the little man in the boat. I've got a pussy now.
Yeah, find a hole.
Oh, I mean, they could easily be a vibrator. Those are robotic.
My auto spark. Touch me in my auto
spark. I'm gonna shoot my auto spark all over your face.
Oh, don't get Pedro started.
Bring me one of those cubes over here. I'm gonna fill it up. Oh, geez.
What do you feel about this auto spark?
Hey, Pedro's all class on pontificators. All I ever see.
Always.
This has gone off the rails.
Rob doesn't want to be part of this highlight.
I really wish that they looked more like fucking first generation, because I see the toys. They got toys that have like decent stuff, but they still look like first generation.
Yeah, the G1.
Yeah, the
Actually,
G1.
what they did with Bumblebee, I liked better. Even though it was still like true busy, it was better than freaking like the Michael Bay Transformers.
Bumblebee was okay.
I did not see Bumblebee because
it was okay.
Michael Bay he gave me a shit sandwich, and I just didn't want any more of what he was trying to serve to me.
Bumblebee's fun. It's not the greatest movie ever. You're not missing out.
Is it Nefarious?
It's better.
Oh, nothing's better than Nefarious.
Nothing's better than Nefarious.
Nothing ever is better than Nefarious, sir.
Mirror,
How dare
on the
you?
Wall. What's the coolest movie of them all?
Nefarious.
How dare you, sir? How dare you try to make that comparison?
All right, so I would totally play Death Raider as a video game. That would be dope. I would go see the movie.
No, I would pick up a comic book about it.
Yeah. Hey, Jim is here.
That's
What's
a
up,
given.
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy's here?
In the chat.
Where's Jimmy?
Yeah. Jimmy Reyes.
Jimmy, can you hear me?
Jimmy, can you hear me?
Yeah, Jimmy. What the fuck is going on with Blue Beetle? Right?
He should know. He should know because he's Mexican. Yeah.
Well, it's what's the guy's name in Blue Beetle? Jimmy Reyes?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not Jimmy Reyes.
Like Jacinto or something.
They're not all the same, Bar.
It is Reyes.
They're
That's Reyes.
Jaimito Reyes. No.
All right, so what the fuck do you guys think about the Snow White shit? First off, they're not calling them dwarfs anymore because
they're magical creatures.
They don't want to be dwarfs. They're like it's like Snow White and the 7 fucking
magical creatures.
Smugglers.
Yeah, 7 magical creatures. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna see it. It's gonna bomb.
I've never seen a fucking girl with her eyes that spread out. Like,
wait, hey,
anatomically, it's wrong.
But didn't you see the Little Mermaid?
Little Mermaid.
Same thing.
Yes, these two bitches came from the same test tube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's the same dude. A guy they called Sweet Dick Willie. And he's just spreading this seed that semen with spread eyes.
I don't know. That chick from Queen's Gambit's got kind of wide eyes, but she's kind of cute.
Yes,
same father. It's the same father.
Yes,
that guy gets around.
Oh God, look at that!
Oh my God, that's
She looks insufferable. Like
she looks like a live action version of
in real life. She looks like she'd be insufferable.
Wet while she's on land, or does she dry out?
Yeah, exactly. So
I think this movie's gonna get Batgirled. That's what I think.
Yeah,
it'll come out.
I know. I think they're gonna Batgirl it because
if anything, it'll go on Disney Plus at the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I think the board has had enough of like the stocks are plummeting for Disney, and she's been called in apparently and had a couple discussions, and she just breaks down.
It was traumatizing.
They're like, hey, you need to shut the fuck up if you want to be the next Kurt Russell in Disney.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I gotta get going, guys. I gotta go. We gotta get dinner. So.
Oh, come on,
all right,
Jason.
Your fucking snares.
Hey, man, little kids gotta eat. You know.
Don't go.
What?
Don't say that about you.
My nephew's 14. He's a little kid. What do you want from me? Get your head out of the gutter.
You get yourself a live rabbit and you throw it in the room with him.
Yeah, exactly.
We let him out of his cage once in a while, Bar.
He needs to grow up, dude.
Yeah. You got to give him some kind of 20 minutes of exercise. You know, Hannibal got that. At least you know.
Hey, is Comic Book Kings on yet?
It just went. The page the channel just went up.
Shit. Yeah, I got all that. Yeah.
Well, let's fucking wrap it the fuck up.
Oh, you're gonna wrap up anyway. Okay.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Jay,
what's going on, Jay? What are you doing,
Not much. Busy week. Got a couple guests this week on Desolate Soul Studios. Yeah. I got Jesse Blaze Snyder tomorrow night, and then Luke Stone on Wednesday night.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Mr. Billy.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, sir? How may I help you?
I'm doing good.
What's going on?
Everybody go back, Goblin Girl.
Everybody go back, Goblin Girl. Go check out Rock and Roll Ninja on the Splato Second Chance campaign. TMF INR. You know, that motherfucker is not real.
Dude,
What?
hey, what is the deal with her, dude? It's like I saw a picture of her online, and she's like sitting on the floor of her fucking
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm
her
all about
kitchen.
She's
Oh
hot.
yeah, dude.
She's
I
hot.
knew that you would go right into that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll make her. I'll give her a baby. This.
Wait, from you, or you'll like go find a baby and give it to her?
Oh no! I'll have
Let
sex with
her
her.
drain it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I want to clarify that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this on the screen here. Look at this.
Yeah. Look at that. All right, Rob, what's going on, man?
Everybody buy the book, buy the T-shirt, buy the watch.
That T-shirt looks awesome, man.
Best pitch I ever heard.
Buy it. It's great. It's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, the truth goes a long way. You know?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I feel compelled.
Create.
What is with this subliminal messaging?
What are you talking about?
Nothing's happening.
For some reason, I feel like I need to go to the lobby and get myself a $6 soda.
It's like Fight Club.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying that you do your thing, and people
go about your day
when they want to. All right, Pedro, how may I help you, sir?
Guys, go sign up to the mailing list for Wipers and Kaijus coming your way. It's growing. People are signing in, and if you like mechs, kaijus, and buxom ladies, sign up to Wipers and Kaijus, baby. Yeah.
Kaijus.
Is the link in the description? Link in chat.
I will put it back. I'm so fucking lazy by that shit.
Right. I'll send it
in
your
the comments, you mother.
Well, also, you never really know who's popping in. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have it right here.
Pedro is a regular at the channel, so
you can just put it right into the. You can just put
there
it right
it is.
into the regular chat, Pedro.
Yeah.
There it is.
Sana, am I?
Isn't that it?
You should be.
Yeah. Oh, I have to join the chat. Wait, let me just. Oh my god.
No, StreamYard lets you post it in chat right now. Like,
boom.
You don't have to go over to YouTube. Yeah. It's already there. Yeah.
Like 10 people have already posted it.
There you go.
Jason.
And I did it too.
What's going on with you, Jason?
I'm smooth.
I just finished this actually. While we were.
I'm gonna cover your face with
yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I don't need to show it.
A natural man.
Yeah. So.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
Kind of a secret project anyway that I'm working on. But
that's actually what B.A. Turner looks like when his shirt is off. He's fucking jacked like that.
And then everybody check out Frog G, obviously, and follow me, and then follow me.
Yeah.
Follow him to the store.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what it's for, though, so technically it is a secret.
Yeah, follow
you
him.
labeled it on the
got the best pitchman here in the world.
Oh, I should take that off.
Follow him to Dunkin' Donuts and follow him out to the parking
Don't
lot.
let him know. Breathe down his neck. Just breathe. Like,
hold him tight and tell him you're gonna peel his clothes off like the foil off of a burrito.
And then say, "Go back, Death Raider."
Go back, Death Raider.
Oh, Death Raider.
Thank you so much, Rob, for
this has been fun. This is crazy.
I appreciate it.
Dude, Rob is
a blast.
Jewel. What just happened?
Jewel.
He's a jewel.
He is a fucking national treasure. Are you American?
Am I?
Are you?
Yes.
I mean, he's a
treasure of whatever nation you hail
treasure.
from.
Exactly.
He could be an international treasure.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
An
not.
international treasure.
That's okay. He's a Canadian national.
We got to kick Jay,
So many
apparently.
wonderful.
I'm a Canadian
I
national.
love
Not a
no.
national treasure.
No.
When I worked at CrossGen, everybody said I was probably born in a laboratory. They're like, you speak like all your references are wrong. Like it's you the only culture you know is from the television and the scientists that would interact with you, Rob. And I'm like, awesome, great. Almost like all I did was read comic books and draw as a child.
Yes.
You were doing like a poor imitation of humanity.
That's good.
Basically. Like,
Yeah, my
I will
interpretation
relate
of
to you
humanity is
all.
what I read in X-Men.
Yeah.
They all hate mutants.
I will relate to you all. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Go watch Kings, everybody.
Yeah.
Go to the Kings. Do a fucking stream raid.
Yeah, tell them we said I love you.
And make your butt cheeks go.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to draw people blowing other people and calling them Nazis.
I don't agree with that one, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever Ethan did, he's a pioneer, man.
He had his reasons.
He's doing
Whatever he did, he had his reasons. So yeah.
All right, guys. Peace out. Hail.
Good night, everybody.
Take care.
Peace.